I would like a one-way ticket to Mars, thank you, immediately. Hi, my name is Sydney, welcome back to hell. And this video, in all its glory, is sponsored by Surfshark. Making content on YouTube is like knowing you've done something wrong, but still not actually knowing what you did. And in the last little while, I have definitely been on the receiving end of doing lots of things wrong. How? I've had videos age restricted, deleted, demonetized, my channel deranked, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little salty about it. This may come as a shock to some people, but I don't want to have to bleep words out or talk in circles so that our supreme overlords here at YouTube won't throw me into the fireplace. This is not okay. Now, bearing all of this in mind, it might come as a shock to some of you that in the last couple weeks, the CEO of YouTube was given a free speech award. This same CEO, coincidentally, whose platform has zero obligation to free speech or the First Amendment in the United States. This free speech award was also sponsored by YouTube, so yeah, you already know where this is going. In her digital acceptance speech, Wojcicki went on to say that YouTube needs to make sure there are limits, and revealed that the company removed 9 million videos in the last quarter, 90% of which were taken down by machines. To put that in perspective for everyone, that is 3 million videos a month. But yeah, it's clear that you guys love free speech in the same way that the body positivity community loves dieting. This is why YouTube tries to send you to the gulag. She also added that there is a lot of content that technically meets the spirit of what we're trying to do, but it is borderline. So for that content, we will just reduce, meaning we're not going to recommend it to our users. Yes, instead they just recommend mainstream media sources and videos of glorious twerking. Modernity. I guess it goes without saying that this free speech award situation is in fact a bag of dirt, but for me at least it raises another issue that I've wanted to talk about for a hot minute. That being the overall hypocrisy of this platform and the people and content it actually promotes. But before we get into my unbridled disdain, let's hear from our sponsor Surfshark. When you can't access blocked websites and applications, you get angry. When your internet service provider can see your weird online activities, you get angrier. When your private information is exposed, you go scorched earth. But don't go scorched earth. Surfshark VPN doesn't want you to go scorched earth. It wants to protect you. It's now your internet mother. But unlike a mother, it doesn't keep any logs and lets you bypass country restrictions, so you can do what my parents do and use Surfshark and my Amazon account to watch some random American show that I can't even remember the name of. Rather than flinging your computer off the balcony because your current VPN is awful, remember that Surfshark genuinely offers more benefits, can be used on as many devices as you like, and even offers a 30-day money-back guarantee. So click the link in the description and use code Sydney to receive 83% off and 3 extra months free. So don't burn your house down. Just get Surfshark. In early 2018, a YouTuber called Logan Paul posted footage of a suicide victim from Japan's infamous suicide forest to his 15 million subscribers. The video was eventually removed by Paul himself or his team after backlash, but not before it was listed as number 10 on YouTube's trending page, and I assume, but actually can't confirm, it was probably monetized. Gotta get that blood money somehow. Pardon the pun. You're not even remotely sorry for that one, are you? Not even a little bit. Around the same time, I became acutely aware of a woman called Eugenia, whose name, I'm pretty sure, gets you demonetized on this platform. Because of course it does. And it's clear that for many years, her physical health has been in decline, leaving many to speculate that she suffers from an eating disorder. YouTube has made an effort in the past to remove content that it deems to glorify or promote eating disorders, like videos including thinspo or pro-ana messages. But despite being a source of inspiration for thousands of girls online, her content too continues to be monetized. Now, these are only 2 examples in a long list of YouTubers who seem to do quite questionable things and continue to be rewarded by the platform. And if you're wondering why that is, the answer is, in fact, for the most part, as simple as you think. Apparently, YouTube plays favorites, giving big creators special treatment in the form of looser interpretations of YouTube's guidelines prohibiting demeaning speech, bullying, and other forms of graphic content. You don't need to look any further than Jake Paul to see that exemplified. A smaller creator pointed out the example that he himself made a satirical thumbnail that YouTube deemed inappropriate, asking him twice to remove it. But in comparison, Jake Paul, who is another massive YouTuber, whose audience is mostly people under the age of 18, has made countless thumbnails with more or less explicit images. But it's fine, because he brings in the big buckaroos. The butteroos. I hate you. Now, YouTube is fairly open about the fact that it has no obligation to free speech, will delete videos it doesn't like and promote ones that it does. I've been making content on this platform for just over 3 years. And in that time, I have befriended other YouTubers, and we've all gone through similar sorts of things, such as demonetization, having our channels attacked, having videos deleted, having things age restricted, and so on. And being that the majority of us are political YouTubers who hurt the tender feelings of the Stockholm Cindies, usually we get smashed with these sanctions all the time. And while I actually hate it, I am just happy that the Supreme Overlords let me be here at all. And don't try to gulag me. But I know that's also coming, so I don't know. Whatever. But this is one of the main issues with this platform. It applies its rules randomly, as many of you know, because I like to complain about it. It favors certain kinds of creators and comes down hard on others. It favors certain kinds of information and lets that information proliferate, and deems other ideas harmful and tries to terminate them. And frankly, I hate it. In 2019, a 20-minute long video called "YouTube is Facilitating the Exploitation of Children and It's Being Monetized" was posted. It explored channels, videos, and the inappropriate ways in which children were and still are exploited on this platform. And the problem is, when creators attempt to draw attention to it, their accounts are suspended and their videos are deleted, with YouTube often citing either harassment and bullying as a reason, or suggesting it is trying to protect children by deleting the content that exposes the people that are targeting children. This is why machines should not be running the show. I don't want to live in the Matrix. On second thought, I guess we kind of already do. You know, with all the sheeple wanting to believe that they're eating the meat when in reality they're not eating anything at all. Is she okay? I don't think she's ever been okay. After this event, YouTube went on to delete thousands and thousands of videos and channels, some of which were innocuous and got caught in the crossfire. It also tightened its guidelines and attempted to hold on to advertisers. This was similar to an event that happened back in mid-2017 when YouTuber PewDiePie was accused of anti-Semitism and kicked off a wave of advertisers abandoning the platform. It was also around this time too that people realized that YouTube wasn't only allowing terrorist content on its platform, but was allowing ads to appear on it as well. Would you look at that? Can't say there's only two genders because YouTube says no, but terrorists are allowed to promote terrorism. Sometimes society is just... After the 2019 incident, it wasn't hard to conclude that YouTube operates on knee-jerk and surface-level reactions. Some creators concluded that the platform puts more energy into protecting people who target the most vulnerable and the very young, rather than combating it in a meaningful way. I know there's a simple word to summarize the people I'm talking about here, but if I say it, then YouTube will demonetize this video. Side note, I actually asked Jeremy from The Quartering for his suggestion on what I should call these people, and he suggested fans of the playground. Thanks for your input, Jeremy. Very good. Creator Anxiety War, a man who makes content catching these sort of people, has had videos deleted for harassment and bullying. So much so that he has removed most of his content over to other platforms to escape YouTube's hammer. When specific kinds of people target pudding people and then other people expose that, YouTube responds by, for whatever reason, punishing the creator. Now, the argument here is that individuals do have a right to due process by the system, and also shouldn't have their faces plastered all over the internet. But I mean, like, these are adult humans thinking they're talking to a 12-year-old girl in a way that's totally demented, so come on. Be serious here, come on. But even beyond the way that YouTube deals with this one particular issue and all the hypocrisy surrounding it, it also has a massive problem with questionable figures. Take James Charles and Shane Dawson, for example. Now, both are demonetized for their actions outside of the platform, but both have been accused of inappropriate behavior towards minors. Charles was recently accused for a second time of grooming his underage fans, and even admitted to flirting with them in a recent video. The clincher here is that YouTube did nothing about either of these people for years and years. And I just want to be clear here, I am not advocating that these people should in fact be demonetized or that that's something that I want. I'm just noting that YouTube seems to only react to situations when there's actually media coverage of it or when audiences finally lose their minds about it. YouTube has exemplified time and time again, but especially with the Logan Paul example, that as long as it has high earners doing questionable things, it's more than happy to basically turn a blind eye. When it does eventually take action and do something about these situations, it basically creates more guidelines that effectively target small creators and their audiences who haven't actually done anything in the first place. YouTube is a platform that has no problem promoting Russiagate, dishonest mainstream media sources, and the like, but questioning the 2020 election gets you banned. Which is interesting because back in 2019, YouTube said that it would promote fewer videos containing misinformation and conspiracy theories. The service said that it would stop recommending what it calls borderline content, videos that come close to violating its community guidelines, but stop just short. Which again, I find really interesting because YouTube has made no secret of the fact that it doesn't actually care about its independent creators, you know, the people who made YouTube what it is, but now likes to focus its attention on traditional media sources. Late night talk shows, music videos, mainstream media sources, all of which in one way or another go against advertiser guidelines and expectations placed upon everyone else. For the buckaroos. Personally, I am frustrated that ideas are considered harmful on this platform and therefore must be terminated. But content glorifying drug use, nudity, and fake news is fine so long as it's coming from Trevor Noah or Tana Mongeau. It's tough enough as it is watching videos that you've poured hours of work into get demonetized or deleted. But I suppose it's even tougher knowing that this attack is targeted. I'm just one small-ish human who doesn't want to go to the gulag. And I just want to reiterate, I am not saying for a second that I think that the people I've talked about here should be demonetized. In fact, if anything, I would prefer that no one gets demonetized. I think I'm just fed up knowing that there's so much hypocrisy and there's so little that any of us can do about it. People always say that the golden age of the internet is over. There's no more Charlie bit my finger or that weird period of time where memes looked like this and YouTube was like effectively the Wild West. Ideally, I'd like YouTube to take a step back from being the pushy demonic demons that they are and let people access and see and listen to the things that they want to access, listen to, and see. YouTube acts like ideas are more damaging than child exploitation and nudity. It acts like conservative voices and serious discussions about political issues are more damaging than someone filming a dead body and posting it on the internet. There are so many double standards and so much hypocrisy when it comes to this platform that, on a serious note, I am genuinely concerned about what this looks like going forward and what this is actually going to do to society. I know this video wasn't in my usual style, but I don't know, I'm feeling a bit salty at the moment and wanted to vent. So I'm sorry for having feelings. In the end, you should all go and subscribe to the email list on my website so I too can eventually escape the vortex of YouTube. Now, before I open the floor to all of you, this is just a reminder that you can download Surfshark VPN using the link in the description. When you do, you'll receive 83% off and 3 extra months free. Now, I open the floor to all of you. What do you all think? Is YouTube, in fact, super hypocritical? What do you make of the Free Speech Awards? Do you believe and do you have feelings about the fact that YouTube pushes some content and not others, favors some creators and not others? And what do you generally make of this issue overall? As always, if you like the video, hit subscribe and the thumbs up button. If you want to leave a comment, feel free to do so. Just be respectful about it. And I will see you guys next time.